where that disdain for the Cowboys came from for you?
Well, they just annoyed. Listen, I would say, I could say it's an ex-girlfriend that was a Cowboys fan when I was in high school. I could say it's family members that get on my last nerves. I could say every time I'm traveling the country, there's a Cowboy fan that I run into that's disgusting and nauseating and makes me sick. I could say that they don't take any chance, they don't take any time as Cowboy fans whatsoever to smell their own stench. The fact that they haven't won a Super Bowl for the last 27 years but walk around every year like they the champions. I could say all of these things and compartmentalize it and pick one of them. The fact is, it's all of them. It's all of it, okay? Listen, the sad part is I have nothing against the Cowboys. I don't have anything against the players. It's them damn fans. They're the worst. I mean, there is nothing worse than a Cowboy fan. And I'll even tip people off to what's in the book. Right there in the book, it says if a nuclear bomb dropped, 3 things would survive: rats, roaches, and a Cowboys fan.
I'm crying.
And I mean it. They are the worst.
The worst.
The worst. I mean, there's nothing worse than a Cowboy fan. And I'm really talking about the people outside of Dallas. I'm not talking about folks in Dallas. If you're in that surrounding area, it makes perfect sense. That's your team. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you in Idaho, when you in California, when you in North Carolina, when you in New Jersey, you in Connecticut, how about them Cowboys? I'm like, don't you have a life? Is there not something that you can come up with? I mean, they just make me sick. I mean, I can't stand them.
Yeah, Stephen A. Smith, you always blabbing about the Cowboys. And guess what? We got something to say about that. DC4L, all day, every day. Yeah, Stephen. All that stuff you talked about the Cowboys. At some point in life, you gotta face the music. Kelby J, DC4L. Mr. Buster, where you at? On ESPN with your edge pushed back. You got a half a fro, but a whole conversation about the organization, the Cowboys Nation. You outrageous, pompous bastard. It's about time you stop running your flappers. So like I said in 2017, I'm about to be the worst nightmare of your sweet dream. Bunk Stephen A. Smith, bunk Stephen A. Smith, cause Stephen A. Smith is a Stephen A. Shrimp. Lot of air in his head and it's bigger than a blimp. And he talks like a coward and he acts like a wimp. And Stephen, we don't care if we seen the best of you, cause your co-workers don't even wanna sit next to you. Cause you smell like garbage and 90% of your speech is retarded. DC4L, Cowboys Nation, and we been had a nation since before Aikman. So it had to be in the 1980s, when you really started hating. Bunk Stephen A. Smith, bunk Stephen A. Smith, cause Stephen A. Smith is a Stephen A. Shrimp. Lot of air in his head and it's bigger than a blimp. And he talks like a coward and he acts like a wimp. Bunk Stephen A. Smith, bunk Stephen A. Smith, cause Stephen A. Smith is a Stephen A. Shrimp. Lot of air in his head and it's bigger than a blimp. And he talks like a coward and he acts like a wimp. I was trying to keep this down to a minimum, but ESPN said just go and get rid of him. He's bad for business and bad for mankind. He's not even worth no more than a landline. So Stephen, when you fix your mouth about the boys, best believe that the nation gon' bring the noise. Stephen A. Smith, you a Stephen A. Shrimp, and after this track, you gon' be Stephen A. Rip. Bunk Stephen A. Smith, bunk Stephen A. Smith, cause Stephen A. Smith is a Stephen A. Shrimp. Lot of air in his head and it's bigger than a blimp. And he talks like a coward and he acts like a wimp. Wham! Style on him. Profile on him. 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 Dallas Cowboys, DC4L, Dallas Cowboys for life. And we gon' let you know, Stephen A. Smith, this is life. We are Dallas Cowboys fans for life. So anything you say can and will be used against you. Shrimp, the Dallas Cowboys brand will always be in demand. So you better tighten up, it's DC4L. I'm the referee and you've been penalized.